Hi everyone, Ganji here. Today, I'm introducing the new hero, Fluffy. In this video, I'll explain what kind of hero Fluffy is, how strong Fluffy is in actual gameplay, and whether Fluffy is worth building. With this update, the game environment may start to change, and some existing strategies may no longer be as safe as before. So today, let's take a closer look at Fluffy and see what this hero really brings to the game. Here, I'll start explaining Fluffy's skills. Normally, I would begin with skill 1, but this time, I'll start with skill 4, as it is the most important. This skill is Fluffy's greatest strength. The moment an enemy uses their ultimate ability, Fluffy cancels it immediately. In other words, Fluffy can completely shut down Sebastian. This is a very big deal. The meta that was protected by Sebastian begins to break down, and heroes with debuffs such as stuns or silence can become effective again. This skill activates 1 second after the battle starts. That means Fluffy can stop the enemy's ultimate almost every time on its very first use. Being strong against Sebastian, this is Fluffy's greatest value. Next, I'll explain Skill 1. This skill is especially effective against heroes like Ishmael and Lara Croft. When activated, it disables the enemy's basic attacks for 12 seconds. During this time, any basic attack that would have been received is reflected back to the enemy as pure damage. There is a cap on the reflected damage, but the value is still high enough to be very impactful. However, there is an important drawback to be aware of. While this skill is active, all allied heroes continuously take pure damage equal to 1% of their maximum HP per second. This is a very powerful skill that both shuts down attacks and deals damage in return, but it requires careful timing and management. Next, I'll explain Skill 2. When this skill is activated, all allies cannot die for 10 seconds. Any allies that are defeated during this effect will all be revived together when the duration ends. This is not a skill that protects a single hero, but one that protects the entire party. An important point to note is that Amira's skill effects continue to work even while this state is active. Upon revival, all revived allies recover a large amount of HP, and their physical attack and magic attack are increased. This skill allows a completely broken formation to be restored all at once, making it an extremely powerful ability. Finally, let's look at Skill 3. This skill allows Fluffy to create a major comeback even when Fluffy is defeated. Fluffy gradually accumulates marks of death on herself. While these marks are active, Fluffy gains increased magic penetration, and the damage she deals is also amplified. Then, at the exact moment Fluffy is defeated, all of the marks explode at once. Based on the number of marks accumulated, this explosion deals massive damage to all enemies. So, even if Fluffy is taken down, the fight is not necessarily over. With this skill, it's possible to completely turn the battle around, even from a very unfavorable situation. From here, let's take a look at various team compositions. First, we'll try attacking some of the most common defensive setups right now, such as teams built around Lyria and Lara, an Arachne composition that locks the enemy down with stuns, an Amira composition focused on dealing high damage, a Horgan composition that prevents the enemy from gaining energy, an Augustus composition aimed at dealing pure damage. We can also create situations where Orion's stuns land consistently. With Fluffy in the team, magic teams and debuff-based teams that were previously difficult to use become realistic options. The ability to greatly expand the range of viable team compositions is one of this hero's key strengths. Next, let's talk about defense. In standard defensive setups, Fluffy is not a very big threat. However, the situation changes in Clash of Worlds defense. Especially in engineer or marksman defensive teams, Fluffy can become extremely troublesome. With Fluffy on defense, attacks that used to work reliably may no longer go through. Engineer teams in particular may find that their previously consistent offensive strategies no longer work as expected. When placed on defense, Fluffy can significantly disrupt the attacker's decision-making. Fluffy is a very strong counter to Sebastian, but there are still ways to deal with her. Fluffy's skill 4 has a 1-second delay before activation. How you respond during this 1 second is the key point in countering her. First, set your team banner to increase physical attack by at least 11%. Then, equip Sebastian with a pet that increases physical attack, either Fenris or Albus. This is the first method. Place Sebastian in the front position of the formation. By doing this, Sebastian can activate skill 1 before Fluffy's skill 4 triggers. However, the major drawback is that building a team with frontline Sebastian is very difficult. Here is the second method. This time, place Sebastian in the backline. Then set the preparation banner with a physical attack pattern. By doing this, Sebastian can activate skill 1 at 0 seconds, right at the start of the battle. Going forward, activating Sebastian at 0 seconds may become necessary. Because of that, adding a physical attack pattern to the preparation banner may become mandatory for future setups. On defense, if you want to use Sebastian effectively, you need to use the preparation banner and place Sebastian in the backline. This allows Sebastian to activate skill 1 faster than Fluffy. However, a backline Sebastian defense may not be especially strong overall. It can be difficult to build a formation that properly protects Sebastian, and doing so may expose other weaknesses that attackers can exploit. When countering Fluffy, it's important to remember that this approach can introduce new risks as well. Next, let's talk about how to build Fluffy and which stats you should focus on. Ideally, you can aim to max out all of her stats. However, many players may struggle with limited resources, making full investment difficult. Fluffy may be a hero similar to Alvanor or Marcus, who can still perform well even without full investment. By upgrading her equipment up to purple rank and increasing her skill levels, she already has the potential to fulfill her role effectively. The fact that Fluffy can deliver strong results relative to her investment cost is another one of her major strengths. In this video, I provided a detailed explanation of the new hero, Fluffy. Fluffy is a very powerful counter to Sebastian, but depending on your team composition and banners, there are still ways to deal with her. She is a hero with the potential to significantly change the current meta, so be sure to keep an eye on how things develop going forward. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Thank you for watching.